Hey YouTube. So today I am going to do my list of the top 5, emphasis on my list, top 5 Xbox 360 games. Uh, this is heavily opinion based. I'm not saying these are the 5 best. I'm saying they're my favorite. Feel free to discuss in the comments, obviously. There are one or two that I'm probably going to get ripped into for putting on the list, but everybody's got their own opinions, so just gonna throw that out there straight away. My favorite, not the best. So, number 5, Halo Reach. Halo Reach is a fucking fantastic game. It has everything you'd want from a Halo game. It's got solid story, great characters, almost all of whom get really awesome deaths. Cat, we're looking at you. Put your helmet on right. Really annoyed at that one. But yeah, great story, really solid characters, really well developed. Kat was my favorite, so that's why I'm still really salty about her death. And most importantly for me, it feels like a Halo game. It feels like you're actually playing Halo, unlike Halo 4, which felt slightly like you were playing a Call of Duty mod that looked like Halo. But Reach it was awesome. It was just so much fun, and it gave you new characters to get to know and get to love, and that was a really interesting thing. Uh, Most importantly for me was the competitive multiplayer. It's probably the best competitive multiplayer I've experienced in any video game. Not a huge multiplayer guy, which is weird because I like Titanfall so much, but as far as I'm concerned, it's the best competitive multiplayer I've ever played. I sunk a lot of hours into that shit, and the Forge mode. What can you say? I mean, Forge World is just fucking enormous and badass and amazing, and there were some really really cool maps created on that shit. So yeah, Halo Reach is my number 5. Moving on, number 4. This one might get me a little bit of flack. Batman Arkham City. Uh, Huge comic book fan, as I said in my first video. Um, this game is, for me, the perfect sequel. It took every cool concept from the initial game, Arkham Asylum, which was a contender for this list too, and it just made it bigger and badder and crazier. And that's what you should do with a sequel. If you're listening, game developers, that's how you make a sequel. You don't stagnate and make all the old concepts stale. You fucking go bigger and badder and crazier, and that seems to be what they're doing with Arkham Knight, which makes me really excited because I'm really, really looking forward to see why Rocksteady go with it. Now, I have never seen in any other media, including the Nolan trilogy, that's a big claim, including the Nolan trilogy, a characterization for Batman like this. They nail it. Absolutely nail it. It's not fucking Frank Miller's Batman. None of that bullshit. It's straight up Danny O'Neill. And it's awesome. The most important thing for me about the game is how effectively they deal with classic Batman concepts. It was really, really ambitious in that it tried shit that no one else ever had. In no other media would you see Hush or Azrael or the Mad Hatter, other than maybe some cartoons. You just wouldn't get it because they're too weird. Rocksteady made these guys into, okay, they were only side missions. Deadshot too. They were all only side missions, but they were really fun and they characterized these guys perfectly. Hush, you had no fucking idea what was going on. No idea. that is perfect for Hush. Similarly to Azrael. Azrael was a complete mystery, and that's what Azrael should be. He should be a really crazy, weird, mysterious character. Similarly, again, Mad Hatter, just absolutely great. It just, they nailed so perfectly those classic Batman concepts that it's a necessity to have on my list. This one I know I'm going to get flagged for, and I'm really nervous to show this. Number 3 is Alan Wake. Number 3 is not Alan Wake because it's a great survival horror game. Let me just preface by saying that, because it's not a great survival horror game. Number 3 is Alan Wake because it's a great thriller. It's not Resident Evil, and it doesn't try to be most of the time. There are times when you can see it trying to be survival horror, but for the most part, it sticks to what it is, a crazy, tension building, psychological thing. It messes with your head more than, or at least it tries to. It doesn't really succeed. But for me, as a writer, it deals with a lot of themes that are really interesting. Writer's block and the darkness essentially being the epitome of creativity and how it can consume you. And I could go really deep into this, but as a writer, it deals with things that most other games don't, because it's told from a writer's point of view, which most other games obviously aren't. So for me, it's more the themes that it deals with, and the way it deals with those themes that are really interesting. And as I said, the villainous force that is essentially the embodiment of creativity and how it consumes everything in your life is really, really cool and interesting. Number 2, not the actual box art, the inside sleeve of BioShock Infinite. Uh, BioShock Infinite. What the fuck is there to say about BioShock Infinite? I don't know why you wouldn't like this game. I appreciate that it's overwritten. It is, and it does feel a little bit like a, ooh, look at me, I'm smart. But Ken Levine's really smart, and he pulls it off really, really well. The story is structured weirdly but effectively, and it is just the perfect example of how to build a universe. He builds a universe that feels real, and it feels like what you do in the game has actual consequences in the world, even though it doesn't, and even though it's not designed to feel like that. It feels like every person you kill has a family, and or had a family before they turned insane, etc., etc. It feels like you are having an effect on the world around you, even though it's not built to be a game like that. And that's really, really interesting, because you'd usually see that from a Mass Effect or a Dragon Age or Witcher, or any number of things like that. Whereas here you've got a linear, very, very linear game that allows you to feel a lot of different emotions. Apologies for the incoming background noise. There's going to be a lot of it. A lot of it. Now, my number ones. I say number ones because I couldn't decide between the two of them. This was a really tough choice. One is my best memory of any kind of multiplayer. The other is my best memory of any kind of single player. So it's really hard to choose. The first I'll deal with is Halo 3. Best campaign in any Halo, flat out. I can't see how anyone can argue it. It's the sheer scale of it is just incredible. There are single player levels, linear levels in Halo 3 that are the size of like the map in GTA 4. I mean, the arc is just absolutely huge and epic in scale, and you feel like when you finish that game, you feel like you just saved the universe, which you did, but you really feel like it. And Bungie are so good at making you feel like that it makes me really excited for Destiny. And then there's Halo 3's biggest strength, and that is custom games. Anyone who played Halo 3 in its heyday will realize what I'm talking about here. Custom games, particularly on Foundry, were the shit. I wasted so many hours of my life. Honestly, I played so many thousands of games of custom games in Halo 3 that it's just insane. I wasted so much time playing that game, and it was incredible. It was such a great game and a great multiplayer experience. And I do go back and play it every so often. Anytime I do, all I want to do is play custom games because that's all I ever did in the game. And then there's the other number one. Of course, anyone who knows me and my gaming habits will know that this was inevitable. Mass Effect 2. God, I love this game. It's just so good. The story is really amazing. It feels like, again, this is designed to feel like this, but it does feel like you're having a really profound effect on the world around you. The choices you make feel like they matter until you play Mass Effect 3. But that's a whole video for a whole other day. For now, let's just deal with 2. And the choices, when you're making them in 2, feel like they really matter. And you can tell that you can tell when you make certain choices that, oh, this is going to come back to bite me in the third game. Oh, god damn it, I shouldn't have done this. And oh, I should have picked that option. Or, oh, I totally made the right decision. This is going to be awesome when I go and deal with it in the third game, because it's going to be really fucking cool and it's going to give me a great mission. And then it doesn't, and it's really disappointing. Anyway, the opening level of this game is the most unexpected thing possibly I've ever experienced in a video game. It literally kills you. You die. 20 minutes into the game, your character, Captain Shepard, Commander Shepard, is dead. He is gone. And that's really interesting because, until they bring him back to life, obviously. But it's really interesting because it presents a whole new arc to the story. What happens when the person who saved the universe dies and then comes back to life at the hands of a terrorist organization? Who trusts that guy? Seriously, who trusts him? And it presents so many cool story opportunities that and they weave it so cleverly, and the writing is just so good. And then you've got the gameplay. And the biggest problem with Mass Effect 1 is that it's too boring. The biggest problem with Mass Effect 3 is that, gameplay-wise, is that it's not strategic enough. Mass Effect 2 is the perfect middle ground. I don't see why they changed it. They absolutely nailed it in Mass Effect 2. Because you couldn't just run and gun the game, but you also couldn't realistically sit back with a sniper and take a half an hour for every encounter. Because you just get bored out of your tree. Or die really quickly because enemies use grenades a lot. And then you get to punch a lady reporter in the face and then screw some people, so that's fucking cool. Yeah, that is all I've got. That's the top 5 for me Xbox 360 games. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you again. Toodles.